All right, so we are live. So welcome to Intuitive You on Oneness Talk Radio. We are so glad you're here, and it's such a special day. We actually have the Common Goods Network with us. Miss Emily, she's coming to us from Mexico, which is really exciting. She's from the States, but her and her partner are down there in Mexico right now. And we do have Ecuador that was just here. We were hearing them, all the kiddos at the orphanage, but they just popped off. So we're hoping they come back on. I think something happened with their connection. So right now, I'm just going to let Emily introduce herself, and we're going to tell you a little bit about the project and how she's involved, and then just really asking you to tune into your intuition and seeing where you're guided. So Emily, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Abby. So good to be here with you. Always so nice to talk with you, and super fun to be able to have the connection through this beautiful technology to be able to come together in this way. And I'm really excited to be able to support this project too of this Casa Hogar. I just watched a movie last night and learned that it's actually like Casa Hogar is basically the name for an orphanage, and so they have to like specify more specifically than that. But it's a really beautiful this home home for kiddos who don't otherwise have a good home. Mm-hmm. It's so sweet. And that it's in Ecuador, where there's a lot of need right now with the economy and the political situation. And so it's been a really a gift to get to know them through you, and that you've actually been there. And I'm sure you'll talk about your experience with them there, because they're just so sweet. The few times now that we've talked with them has been really, really, really sweet to see how driven they are too. Daisy is like this organizer, one of the main coordinators there. She's just so passionate. Oh, maybe they'll come back now. Perfect timing.
We can see the little ball. Go ahead, Em.
So for Common Goods, we're basically a nonprofit based in Oregon in the U.S., and we essentially like to support various different projects that are really doing the kind of thing that this Casa Hogar is doing, which is just to help other people and really align with our mission, which is to foster networks of trust and facilitate the sharing of knowledge, resources, abilities, so that we can transform communities, transform the world to be a more sustainable and harmonious one. Mm-hmm. So that is like super aligned with this project. And so I'm really excited that we are going to be able to help with the fundraising for this project, because they have such a great need right now. And I'm sure we'll go into that more too, and maybe let them speak to that also. But with this kind of upcoming deadline and need for these funds to be used, we're really excited that we'll be able to put out there on Facebook and elsewhere for people to, like you said, tune in and see if they are interested in desiring to support this beautiful project, especially after meeting a few of them. And maybe we'll get to see them on camera, but we'll at least be able to hear them.
Right? I know. Well, one thing I just want to underline is the intuitive knowing. So you mentioned I went there, and I did. I was there in March, and it was this very deep intuitive knowing. Ha, there she is. And I just knew I had to go. And I love how Daisy pops up right as I say that, because our intuition connects us to our soul purpose. So to something that is greater than us, right? So it's usually always about service. It's always about giving back and really connecting to our core in a way that we're expressing the love that we are. So when we listen to our intuitions, we're guided moment by moment. And so Daisy is a very dear friend, hola, and Emily speaks fluent Spanish. I just speak a little bit. So she's going to be translating for us this morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are listening to this. So Em, do you want to just kind of welcome Daisy and the kids, just kind of translate that we're glad they're here and we are live?
Yeah, totally. Bienvenidos, Daisy y todos que están. We're live en vivo. Y qué emoción que están aquí. Hola. Si quieren, pueden presentarles.
Hola. Buenos días. Estamos aquí de la casa Hogar para Todos. Están los niños de aquí de la casa, están algunos de los chicos y de las niñas también que están aquí presentes, también parte de personal.
Bueno, voy a traducir entonces un ratito para decir. So basically, here we are in the Casa Hogar para Todos, the name of this home, and she's here with some kids at the home. So she wants to present them to us. Hola. Mucho gusto. ¿Cómo se llaman?
Mi nombre es Pamela. Mi nombre es Pamela. Yo soy tutora aquí con los niños. Yo trabajo con los niños directamente.
Cool. Hola. So they work with the niños, the children directly. They're one of the directors of the programs. Hola, gracias. ¿Quién más? ¿Quién más?
Hola, mi nombre es Nubia.
Poco tímida, está bien, está bien. Little shy. No hay presión, solo si quieres decir algo, no es necesario. Pero gracias por estar aquí. I'm just thinking of a little bit. They're a little bit shy.
Hola.
Hola. Hola.
He's one of the girls that I taught.
Mi nombre es Leonela Camas y bienvenida.
Hola, gracias. Abby le recuerda.
Oh, just when I was teaching the intuitive success coaching process, she was one of them that came up and gave me a huge hug afterwards, and just like in tears, just so beautiful, and just I recognized her strength, right, what it takes to be in that situation, and so it's just so beautiful to see her.
Abracitos a todos. Abby le recuerda algunos. Yeah. Sí, pues, do you want to ask anything, Abby? Do you want us to share the project?
Yeah, you can share the project a little bit, sure. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask Daisy. Oh, hola. ¿Cómo están? Qué bueno.
Hola, mi nombre es Nicole.
Hola.
Mi nombre es Nicole.
Nicole, mucho gusto. ¿Qué van a hacer hoy? Wow. Todos están.
And do you want to translate it in English?
Well, it's one of those things where translating Spanish is one thing and translating young kids is another thing in any language.
Totally.
But I was just asking, how are they? What are they doing today? Yeah, they're a little bit shy. Un poco tímido, ¿verdad? Es una experiencia nueva para estar en video con nosotros.
Sí, más porque por el idioma un poco que a veces ellas quieren como a ciertos momentos con lo que saben quieren a veces decir algo en inglés, pero al mismo tiempo dicen mejor vivo en español y como que
sí,
por eso
si quieren decir algo en inglés es bien perfecto. Yeah. They might want to say something in English.
They want to what?
They might want to say something in English. She said she's not sure. They want to say something in Spanish.
Nice.
But es un regalo a ver. Y si quieren decir algo sobre su hogar, sobre sus proyectos, es bien
No, vete. Ya. Bueno, para nosotros, todos los que nos están mirando a través de este medio, realmente todos los radiovidentes quienes estemos llegando, nosotros somos la Casa Hogar para Todos, ubicados en el Ecuador, en la ciudad de Azogues, en donde prestamos un servicio a niños, niñas y adolescentes en situación de riesgo, entre los 0 días de nacidos hasta los 17 años, brindándoles la atención integral como es alimentación, salud, educación, atención psicológica, social, familiar, en cada uno de los ámbitos. La misión es realmente trabajar en lo que es el proceso de reinserción familiar, autonomía y adopción. Eh, Todo ello lo hacemos con mucho carisma y vocación, sobre todo enfocándonos en los derechos de los niños y adolescentes.
Bueno, gracias. Sí. So she's just explaining that they're in Ecuador and they work with kids from I didn't catch the exact age because it's a little bit noisy, but children up through adolescence, and that they offer services from psychological through like other services you could imagine. I couldn't again catch all of it because there's a bit of noise, um, but there's various different programs that they do to make sure that the kids are getting what they need, and they also do work with adoption and basically getting kids the homes that they deserve and need, and yeah, that this, I mean, my feeling too, hearing is, this is something that is like really a precious effort that's going in there, and it's really making a big difference. I know last time we talked, she said that there were 18 kids um, at this house, and they, are really working on some improvements right now to the space so that they can pass the necessary evaluations coming up, and be able to keep their place there for hopefully at least, the idea is to pass for 2 years, and with the support that they get from their community there, with donations of different materials and furniture and things, as well as external, people like us who just want to give and help, and can do that with a money donation. There's going to be the opportunity for them to really make the improvements that they need and be able to pass the test in mid-June so that they can stay hopefully for 2 years before building another. I think that's something that you would want to talk about, Abby, with One Heart Global, to build actually another better structure as well.
Uh-huh.
Y Daisy, solo estoy, gracias, y yo estoy también explicando un poco sobre las necesidades de este tiempo. Hay poco ruido, entonces no estoy capturando todo a traducir, pero lo intenté y espero que toda la gente me entienden y entienden tú también. ¿Quieres decir algo más ahora?
Sí, no sé si tal vez visualizar la situación de las necesidades que tiene actualmente la casa hogar. En esto, tal vez manifestar realmente que pedimos el apoyo de todas las personas que nos estén observando, que realmente esta casa, para continuar con su servicio, necesita un presupuesto, y este presupuesto realmente es importante para cubrir todas las necesidades para los niños y adolescentes, que incluso tenemos un plan padrino que podrían ayudarnos de esa manera, para la casa hogar, viendo los gastos que tenemos con los niños, niñas y adolescentes en todos los ámbitos que ya les habíamos mencionado anteriormente y que requieren la atención también directa de profesionales y también de las personas que están al servicio de los niños.
No, no puedo escuchar muy bien. No sé si hay una manera a no tener más ruido, pero podemos conocer a los niños también. No sé si están aburridos esperándonos.
Sí, tal vez.
Hola.
Sí, hola, saluda. Hola. ¿Tu nombre? Mi nombre es Brittany. Mi nombre es Brittany Casanata.
Hola. Lo siento, no te escuché. ¿Otra vez?
¿Tu nombre? Brittany Casanata.
Hola. Gracias. I think she just said hello, good afternoon, good morning. And her name, I think, is Selene. Hola.
Buenos días.
Buenos días, ¿cómo estás?
Bien.
Bien. Bienvenidos.
So one of the great things that we were actually talking about, I actually just sent out to all my following on my email list, is this next 24 hours or so, what we're going to do is a special promotion. So when a student shows up for the Intuitive Success Coaching Program, we're actually going to donate 10% back to the kids and be able to sponsor a child. So they have the deadline in June. So basically, we're wanting to get as many funds in for the children in June. So that's why I'm opening up my company to we've actually taught the kids part of the Intuitive Success Coaching curriculum, but the full thing is what we want to be able to do. So if you're feeling called to learn how to develop your intuition and monetize your gifts and manifest a life you love, as you do that for yourself, you're actually going to be at the same time. So just super excited. So you can email me directly at abby@lifeforceconnection.com. And then Emily has some other ways she's going to tell us more about how you can donate through Facebook and the Common Goods Network. So we're super excited to have her a part of it.
So fun, Abby. That's such a sweet offering.
Yeah, I just woke up. I was like, okay, this is what needs to happen. You know, it's just fun, because all the students in the program absolutely love it. So it's like, why not, have more and then just help kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to share a little bit more about the Common Goods Network?
Well, I know that we're going to go for an hour, and I'm thinking it might be helpful. They do have other things that they probably want to do, and I know it's the Day of the Children tomorrow is the celebration. So I wanted to kind of ask Daisy what they're doing for that, and get kind of more of them. And then if they want to, they could hop off for the last half.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep.
So, Daisy, estoy curiosa porque yo sé que mañana, ¿verdad? Es el Día del Niño. El Día del Niño.
Sí,
Entonces estoy pensando, pues, ¿qué van a hacer mañana? ¿Tienen una fiesta o no sé qué van a hacer?
Sí, bueno, el día sábado realizamos ya un primer evento, una excursión a un lugar que se llama Cajas en Cuenca, en la ciudad de Cuenca. Entonces los niños disfrutaron mucho, fueron a pasear en la naturaleza, estuvieron en las cascadas, estaban jugando con los caballos, se hizo un programa con algunos regalos que también nos ayudaron, nos colaboraron algunas personas, y eso se hizo el día sábado. El día de ayer, domingo, estuvo unas familias que vinieron a visitarles a los niños y les regalaron un refrigerio por el Día del Niño. Y mañana, que es ya el día, está programado realizar el mismo programa, enfocado también en parte con formación sobre los derechos de los niños, y luego un pequeño refrigerio igual que se va a compartir con los niños. Es una fecha como importante donde recalcamos más lo que ellos necesitan, sus situaciones diferentes tanto en las familias como en las casas hogares, y que es lo fundamental el trabajo. Sabemos que la familia es el núcleo central de la sociedad y es en donde deberíamos un poco enfocarnos en este tema para poder prevenir el hecho de que los niños estén dentro de los centros de acogida. Sin embargo, a los que los tenemos acá, tratamos de brindarles la atención integral en los derechos, para lo cual, como digo, requerimos realmente el apoyo y la ayuda de todos ustedes para poder cumplir con esta meta de que los niños crezcan y se desarrollen en un ambiente saludable.
Okay, bueno.
What's the translation?
Okay, so she said, yeah, tomorrow is the day of the children. And yesterday there was a celebration too, where it's kind of this whole weekend. There's different things. But kind of like tomorrow, what they're doing is they're going to go take the kids out into nature. There's a special place where they're going to go. They're going to be able to interact with horses and really be in nature as well. So that's like kind of a special thing that's going to be so nice for them. They're really looking forward to it. Sounds like, and then they'll also have more programs that are like ongoing this week that. I didn't catch all the details about it. ¿Los programas mañana? ¿Son mañana o semana?
Mañana. Sí,
mañana.
El programa es mañana, que lo vamos a realizar enfocado en los derechos de los niños, primero como un taller y luego un compartir un refrigerio en base al Día del Niño.
Bueno, sí, so they're going to have some they're going to go out to a community where it's out in nature and have or a special community. I'm not sure if this is the same one out in nature, but they're going to have some workshops about los talleres de qué?
Sobre los derechos de los niños y adolescentes.
Lo siento, no puedo escucharte bien.
Sobre los derechos de los niños y adolescentes.
Nice. So it's for the kids, the adolescents, to do something that I'm not able to say because I cannot translate it or cannot hear it. None of these things is at least true.
So real quick, while M's doing that, I just want to highlight something really important about this work. So I started the nonprofit probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it's basically the universal language of love, which is from the heart. So whether M can translate exactly or hear exactly what she's saying with her words, I just invite everybody to tune into their heart and maybe put your hands on your heart and just feel the love and feel the connection that we all have to each other, that we have to these children, that is even beyond words, right? Because I would literally land in all these countries and not know any language, wouldn't know Thai, wouldn't know Balinese or anything. And it was just from the heart, connections like these would happen. So I just invite you to really feel into that and just get that wisdom and feel where you're moved from your heart. So, Em, if you want to go ahead and continue, I just really wanted to kind of let everybody know that's the roots of really the foundation and just seeing, where that inspiration takes you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I totally agree with that. And that's often, I was thinking about this last night and I was like, well, translation, I know I'm going to be doing some translation. It's not something that I'm the most practiced or don't feel the most confident about because often it's not that I can catch every word and relay that exactly. Some people are really gifted at that, and I think it's a beautiful way to translate. And for me, it's in addition to the vocabulary that I can catch and understand and convey, it's an art form as well of really conveying the heart and the essence of what's being shared. More, it's at least as important as the words themselves. Yeah.
Totally. That's awesome. I love it. And just Daisy is seriously one of the most amazing women I've ever met. Like she literally runs this place like pretty much by herself. I know she has some helpers, but it's like when I was there was 21 kids, and it's like she just has this grace of like just being able to be level, you know, in her emotions and just loving with whatever comes. So I'm just really in awe of her just huge heart and ability to just care for all these kids. So if you want to relate that back to her, she kind of already knows, but just to kind of let everybody know who she is, it's kind of like a soul sister connection. Yeah.
Abby estaba diciendo que Daisy, tú es bien hermosa con tu corazón. Es como, tienes una manera es como estable, no sé si es una palabra en español, pero es como, tiene una manera como con tu corazón y sabes qué necesitan los niños y cómo estar, cómo pues les quiero mucho. Es muy hermosa. Y eres eres muy fuerte, ¿sí?
Muchas gracias, que me digas igual a Abby, que muchas gracias por tus palabras, que realmente me animan a continuar con este servicio. Realmente hay que ser fuerte y hay que luchar mucho, porque son muchas cosas difíciles, pero con gran ánimo y alegría se lo puede hacer. Y pues, y más que todo con mucho amor para los niños, jóvenes que tenemos acá y con ese don de saber servir. Igual, muchas gracias a Abby y Emily, porque son como unas manos amigas que nos ayudan ahora a continuar también con este servicio que han unido a esta misión y por algo pues han llegado a esta misión, hacer como les decía la vez anterior, hacer ustedes como una luz para que siga alumbrando este servicio y esta obra. Igual ustedes en su misión, en su fundación, también sé que son sin fines de lucro y que realizan varias servicios, varias gestiones, y creo que con eso también igual ustedes también comparten mucho de ustedes, y igual ustedes tienen un noble corazón para poder ayudar también a muchas obras como las nuestras. Así que igual un abrazo grande.
¿Puedo traducir? Porque tú tienes muchas palabras muy bellas, entonces no quiero olvidarlas mucho. ¿Sí? I want to translate a little bit because what she's saying is so beautiful. First, she thanked you, Abby, for these beautiful words that you're sharing. Really, she is really inspired to continue this work, and it really supports her to receive that. And she's really excited and animated, excited, to continue this work and be able to offer these services and programs for the kids, because it's so meaningful. And she's really grateful to you, Abby, and she also said to me, Emily, for offering the support that we can to help them be able to realize their needs and like as in get closer to meeting them. And she's really grateful for anybody else who is able to donate, for the nonprofit and donations that are available and coming to them so that they can continue their really inspired work. And I know just from interacting and getting to know Daisy and some of the kids now too, and Abby, that there's really a lot of beautiful stuff that they do, and they've sent me like they have like some really beautiful plans, like in terms of how they support the kids, and besides plans, they seem to be actually doing them, right? Because they're telling us about the programs that they have for this week coming up too. And obviously Daisy has so much beautiful wealth of skills, of words, of just a beautiful heart to share, and it's really amazing to see. It's just really, really inspiring to see that this place exists for the kids, and because a lot of the kids don't have parents, but then some of them it's also like the parental situation just isn't one that's nourishing for the kids, so that they can come to this home and live there and have their basic needs met. And then on top of that, it also really to me sounds like they're as well as the basics really focused on kind of the full spectrum, right? Like up through like how do you actually become a good human, a human who feels good in the world, right? And I know that Abby, that's also your work, and so it's beautiful that you could be there and offer that to them as well. Yeah, just really, really beautiful. I know I personally would love to hear about like more about that time that you spent there and how that sort of came to be and what it showed you, both about their process, their project, as well as anything that you learned. So I'll just say that, and if we want to keep Daisy on the call, then I can translate a little bit something now, or we can let her, if she wants to say anything else, I can check in with her. Gracias, Daisy, por todo. Y no sé si pues yo sé que tienes mucho que hacer, porque hay muchas cosas siempre, ¿verdad? Con todos los niños y todo. Entonces, si quieres quedar por toda la hora, puedes. Pero si es mejor para usted hacer otras cosas, podrías también. No nos molesta, pero pues agradecemos mucho que estás aquí. Y entonces, si quieres decir algo más, o no sé si quieres presentarnos algo, ¿qué piensas tú?
Bueno, nosotros más agradecerles por el espacio que nos han dado en este momento. Bueno, los niños y niñas así ya no pueden estar mucho tiempo porque tienen tareas la mañana, están en deberes y están en clases virtuales. Entonces por eso ya se retiraron en este momento. Y bueno, mis compañeros igual de trabajo están en varias áreas, están laborando, por eso no están muy poquito tiempo y luego ya igual se retiraron porque como es lunes, entonces empiezan con varias actividades en diferentes lugares. Pero de verdad agradecerles mucho por el espacio. Esperemos que con esto también podamos llegar a muchas personas y sensibilizarlas para que puedan vivir ese apoyo que requerimos ahora. Realmente el fin es, como dijeron ustedes, hacer una colecta o recaudar fondos que puedan servir para los niños y jóvenes, para la propuesta que tenemos en este momento de poder alcanzar la meta, de arreglar todo el plan de mejoras que tenemos en esta circunstancia hasta el 10 de junio y después continuar con el servicio y poder realizar igual el sueño que es más grande todavía, de un presupuesto estable y de tener una nueva casa para los niños. Entonces, con todo esto les invitamos a que nos sigan apoyando a todas las personas que nos están viendo. Y Abby, mil gracias, de verdad, como nosotros decimos, son como una bendición aquí en nuestra casa. Envío un abrazo súper fuerte de todos los niños, adolescentes y las personas que trabajamos aquí en la casa hogar, con mucho cariño y aprecio. Les enviamos mucho amor desde acá, con todos los niños y jóvenes que están aquí. Y les agradezco. Muchas gracias por todo.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias a ti, amiga. Gracias a ti, Daisy, también. Y quisiera decirte, porque antes ya presenté al radio, pero quiero decirte que todavía, pues sí, ya tenemos una una decisión de Common Goods para hacer una, pues, ¿cómo puedo decirle? Solo estoy emocionada. I'm just excited, so I'm trying to share with them about how Common Goods is going to help with the fiscal sponsorship to help to get the fundraising going. Entonces, Common Goods, vamos a hacer un fundraiser en Facebook para iniciar ganando más dinero para ustedes. Podemos empezar hoy o mañana. Yo sé que es una manera que podemos ayudar con la gente quien van a saber de este proyecto hoy y también en Facebook. Pueden hacer las donaciones más fáciles. Entonces, solo voy a enviarte los links a ti y a Abby. Vamos a trabajar en esta. Y espero que tú puedes o tu equipo puede compartirlo en tu Facebook también. No sé si tienen algunas conexiones. Entonces, quisiera decirte sobre esto.
Muchas gracias. Sí, entendí bien el hecho de difundir a través de Facebook de esta página para recaudar fondos, y como dice, lo podemos transmitir también y enlazar al Facebook igual de la fundación para igual hacer muchas más personas. Entonces, muchas gracias por la iniciativa y pues esperemos igual conseguir este objetivo.
Sí, muchas gracias a ti por presentando los niños también. Big hugs to all of us.
Igualmente un abrazo grande para ustedes, que tengan un lindo día. Mil gracias.
Ustedes también, mil gracias. So 1,000 thanks, she's saying, and she's really grateful to be the show that would, present this project and believe in them. And they are going to do a few things here today. Going to hop off the call, but just a lot of gratitude from the heart, and really inviting people, if they feel inspired, to visit the Facebook pages and things to make donations, or there's other links as well, ways to donate if that's better for people. So yeah, just gracias, Daisy.
Muchas gracias, un gusto verlos, saludarlos, mil gracias.
Quiero ver estos ojitos.
Adiós.
Quiero ver esos ojitos.
Adiós, amiga.
Quiero verles esos ojitos.
Yeah, we did have a donation that came in last night. So if you just go to www.oneheartglobal.co/mission, you'll see the donate button on the bottom. And I also believe you can just click on donate. So until Emily gets the more links, you guys can just go there. But yeah, it's so fun to see those coming in. So thank you.
Amazing. So sweet.
Really sweet.
Yeah,
good job
really
translating him.
Thanks.
And yeah, we can definitely talk more about my experience there too if you want. Yeah, really.
I just think that that's like such a beautiful way to convey like really the heart, because you've actually been there, and I've just known them for a few weeks now through video. So yeah, I'd love to hear about it, and I think others.
Yeah, I mean, it was just such a call from the heart and intuition. I just knew I had to, and really, like, from the moment I set foot there, it was just kind of like, I don't know why we have this funny background.
I know, that's funny. We're just in the ocean. We're swimming across the lattes to get to Ecuador.
Lattes, you're listening to Intuitive You. Anyways, so yeah, it's just, I was so just greeted and welcomed, right? So that's why when you're coming from the heart and the intuition, like, you're going to be met because you're coming from that vibration of love, right? And I mean, the day was so beautiful how it unfolded. It was like Daisy just was working her magic. Like she called another translator because I hadn't known you at the time. We actually met the director who I believe owns that building. And so he met with my dad and me and everything. We just had the big plans that we started to lay out from what they needed immediately, and then also building the new structure that we've been talking about. So it just was really amazing how it all came together. And just, watching the kids, like she was so good at bringing them together. And I remember one of the girls was actually on, like at first she was very resistant, but by the end, she just came up with this huge hug and was just crying, right? So it's like, no matter what you might see at the surface at the beginning, deeper, there's so much love and so much just gratitude for activating their intuitions, for reminding them how to believe in themselves. We went through each of the 7 chakras of, rooting in the foundation of love, feeling really good, moving into your power, like believing in yourself, and then coming from your heart and expressing it and seeing your vision and just opening up to the universe. So you could just see, their eyes light up, to just be like, wow, okay, this is possible. What's my next step? So, just really inspiring. And we left, the first part of the curriculum there. So they have the books there. So it's just going to be a continuation and an evolvement. But I just love the seed was planted in love and just grew and grew. So
yeah, it's so beautiful. I don't know. Do you want to talk about the actual intuition success coaching? Because I know that you do that with people, and then you also did it with the kids. So I'm also interested in how they, like you were kind of starting to talk about, like how they kind of received it, or like how you could see their eyes lighting up, being like, oh, I can actually do this. And I imagine you get that with people all over whenever you're doing it.
Totally. Yeah. So the process, it was really rooted in the theory. Like I left a scholarship in college to start this idea. I was 19 years old about we have the answers within us. And so when we listen and we trust that innate knowing and we hold ourselves in this place of unconditional love, we are guided. We're naturally moved by our heart and our gut to how we're meant to serve and to express our gifts. So what I just briefly shared with you was the 7 main activations. So the chakra centers are like vortexes of energy that connect to our physical, our mental, our emotional, our spiritual well-being. So when you activate and balance each of those, you really move into alignment with your soul. So your highest wisdom. I call it like your highest potential. So as you activate each of those chakras, you open up to what that is. And what happens a lot of times is, we have subconscious blocks that kind of get in the way of us fully living those out. So that could be, basically it's any thought that connects with an emotion creates a belief. So any negative beliefs that block that innate flow, stop the prosperity or the love or the happiness from happening. So we actually clear those blocks and give you the resources that you need. So a resource could be like love instead of fear, or peace instead of pain, right? So you start to work with your nervous system to bring in those positive feelings and create new beliefs that then support your intuitive knowing. And then the third part of the process is either monetizing your gifts if you're wanting to create a business, or manifesting. I call it the manifesting factor. So like for the kids, it's what their dreams are, what they want to create. For other people in the program, it could be, often it's about a business, but sometimes it's about relationship or a new home. I've helped, clients, discern like what homes to buy, right? And then they, become like wellness centers. It's craziness. It's just amazing what can happen. So you start to learn to trust your intuition and have that discernment, and then take action. So the process is really about aligning, clearing your blocks, and then taking action on what you know so you can fulfill your soul purpose. So,
that's so beautiful. Yeah, it's super beautiful. I feel like I'm just like, I'm almost having chills just like imagining being a kid in an orphanage, right? Like, either like parents have died or parents are not in a position to take care of them. Either way, there's like deep, deep grief and hurt there, I'm sure. And just like imagining, really like being able to integrate this process and this understanding that you're just sharing of like, well, you know, because I mean, obviously there's like that, all that grief and all that pain that has to be processed. And that's part of the process that you're talking about also, which is so beautiful, of like clearing the unprocessed stuff, like moving through it, you know, and people are going to have different ways or needs around that, I'm sure. But then, you know, having that support, and then coming into the heart more of like, even more, right? Like once you cleared that stuff away, you know, or acknowledged it at least, and been able to like tap into like, okay, what is my calling? What are my gifts? What do I want to bring to the world? And imagining doing that as like, you know, a kid, right? Like this is the stuff that like I wish that I had learned in school, right? Like, and that you're like able to bring it and share it, and like that's just a beautiful gift. And I can only imagine like from that place, in that heart space, as one of those kids, like especially I'm imagining like for the older kids especially, it's like it's more powerful because they kind of have started to think like, oh, like, you know, what am I doing in the world? You know, even if they don't consciously have that thought, there's something. I think purpose is such a meaningful thing for people. It's like what everybody needs. It's like one of those main things of life, of living. Like it's just to really feel connected with your purpose.
Yeah.
And that you're moving forward. And then so did you go through some, like all three of these steps with the kids? And so then there's even the like, okay, how do you like bring that into the world?
Yeah, so great question. So we just had time to do the intuitive factor, so the activation parts. And so that's what I was sharing with the program. So what I'm going to be doing for every adult, and even if you have a child of your own that signs up for the program, I'm going to be teaching a child the whole process there, right? And quite honestly, like there could be multiple. I'll probably hop on the video and have them all collaborate, but it's just like as many people as we can get in, then I'm going to be donating 10% back and then teaching the full process to the kids. So, and we can do it online. Part of the reason that I knew I needed to go the first time was establishing that rapport and that relationship. So now we do hop on Zoom and like, you know, you've experienced, you get to meet the kids and talk with her. And so we have that relationship. Whereas before, if I didn't go, I think it would be harder to just kind of hop on, you know? So
totally.
it's nice that rapport has been built. Like they remember me, they know my name. They're probably starting to get to know your name now. So it's like, it's easy to kind of teach them now from that place of you know, the connection that we have.
Yeah, of course. That makes so much sense, because it's like once you've had the in-person like heart connection, and, you know, to be able to, and this was a while ago, it was like last year, yeah?
Yeah, it was that I went. It was in March. Yeah.
In March, yeah. So yeah, so it was like of last year, right?
This year.
Oh, this year, cool,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, like
yeah. So then you really have fresh in your body, right? Like being able to meet each other and like get to know each other and have that connection, and then that just like lasts. I think like when you're on video, you know, it's like. It's just right there. And I mean, not to say, of course, there are beautiful connections that can happen online as well. Like we haven't actually met in person, being in different countries, although that doesn't stop us sometimes, right? Maybe we'll be in Ecuador someday together. That would be so beautiful. And I know that you are talking with them about like building like a new building. And that was something that I didn't quite translate from what Daisy was saying too, is that, you know, part of what the donations right now help, though there is this kind of like immediate need in really the next like couple of weeks. And really June 10th is when they would like to have all of the donations present so that they can really make the needed changes before the 14th, which is the first day that the evaluation could happen. So anyway, so they have this sort of immediate need, but beyond that, they have really a much larger vision and dream of, you know, more capacity for helping kids, you know, more of the basics covered in a nice, easy way, and then as well as, of course, these programs that they're offering, and really being able to help the kids with all that they're capable of, right? Like you're talking about too. And so that's also helpful when you're donating. You can keep that in mind. Like this is not just for this, you know, like these 2 years, hopefully, that they'll get to keep the space that they're in and have it. But also is beyond that, like to really support the vision of the larger picture and how much, and I imagine that you know a bit more about this too, because you are working more closely with them, with One Heart Global, to really envision like a sort of next step. Like after, I'm thinking like, during these 2 years or something, you'd be like growing the plans and finding the space and developing all those connections to manifest a new building and new space for them.
Yeah, totally. We've talked about really building from the ground up and having a wellness center and a school attached to it. So it's like self-sustaining, so people can come and receive workshops, and then that money goes actually to the kids. So lots of great plans. And it was such a great timing. And then for everybody that wants to know about the program, you can go to www.lifeforceconnection.com/coaching certification.htm, and you'll see all the 3 modules there. And you can contact me on the bottom. I believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, because you're saying that if people want to do the coaching with you, and you'll do it over Zoom with anybody, right?
Yeah.
And it sounded like even kids, you could do it with kids, or you could do like a joint session with multiple people.
Yeah.
And then a portion of that will actually go to help support as well, which is really beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the school. Like right now we're doing it online, but we actually want to have it there like permanently in person, right? So the school is constantly feeding it. So.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful model.
Fun. It's so fun. It was such a divine inspiration too. And that's the thing about intuition, is like visions start to come to you, and things, knowings, start coming to you. So to take action on those visions. It's fun. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And we will put up a webpage also on Common Goods website. So it's just commongoods.net. And you'll be able to navigate to our project page. And we have a bunch of different projects, mostly in Latin America, but also in the US, and soon to be, I think, expanding even from there. But this project will be also listed once we get that up, hopefully in the next couple of days. So you'll be able to navigate from there, and then and be able to see a bit more information. Also, it'll probably be pretty similar to your site, I'm thinking, but just another way for people to be able to connect. And on the Facebook pages, yours, ours, theirs, everybody's will have the info and the ability to give if you feel inspired.
Nice. So cool. Thank you so much for doing that, Em, and for your translations. And yeah, just so grateful to be working with you.
Same. Yeah. Thank you for the introduction, and for being so inspired to reach out and connect and try to support in the ways that you can. I know that One Heart Global is moving towards being a nonprofit, yourself, like you're talking about, like once you are doing the kind of larger center and stuff, like that's what you'll be doing, is you'll be a nonprofit. But like for these, for whatever reason, it's hard to set up these little bureaucratic, just being able to click a button and get money going there. So I'm happy that we're able to support in that way and work together to really, hopefully bring in more support for these beautiful kids and the people who are caring for them, and so inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad you got to see more of the kids today. Super fun.
Yeah, I'm glad that came up for everybody too. Like, what a beautiful gift to get to meet those kids. And I love what you said too about how they're really, you see. You can see they're kind of a little bit shy at first, or maybe not so engaged. But if you were to spend even an hour with them in person, I'm sure they would. I can just see that. Like, of course, behind that, there's a little bit of protection, but then they'll really open up, and they're just sweet, sweet sweeties who have their own dreams and are tuning into that and able to, who knows what they'll do, something beautiful, I'm sure, in the world. So I really appreciate that you're sharing that with them and with the world, what you're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's so awesome to partner with you and just get more information out. So yeah, I just recommend that, you share this work, who's ever listening. Again, you can go to oneheartglobal.co. You'll see the donate button, the missions page. I'm trying to think, in action, the bottom of the missions page, you'll see a video of me teaching the kids. So that's pretty fun. I think it's like an hour long. So yeah, is there anything else? I think we need to log off here in a couple minutes. Em, is there anything else that you want to say?
I can't think of anything. No, I think that this has been like a really sweet time to just get together and connect with them again and share what they're about. And I'm just looking forward to how we can support.
Well, thank you so much. Mexico looks beautiful. Looks so peaceful there. Looks like such a beautiful spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did just think of one more thing.
Yeah.
But I just love that it's like, I guess I want to say something about how like we are in these positions where we are able to like offer support to others, and it can feel a little bit tricky sometimes to like, okay, I have this privilege. How do I use it in a good way that feels right and like isn't kind of like, taking over somebody else's dreams or like telling someone what they should do. And I just feel like for both of us, like that's really not what either of us or either of our organizations are about, and I think that everybody who sees this, I'm hoping will resonate with this feeling of like, well, what the question is really like, what can I do? Mm-hmm. And whatever position that we're in, gives us the opportunity to help others. Even Daisy is obviously helping so many kids, and we are in different positions, and we can come together and like really collaborate and support. And so I think it's just a beautiful gift that I'm happy that we're both doing and that Daisy is doing, and she's been so gracious and wanting to connect and so appreciative of support that I'm super thrilled to be working with both of you and in these ways.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, and big hug to you. And I think that's it for today. We'll see everybody next week, so Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And I think have a beautiful day. Just, really listen to your heart, your intuition. Like Emily said, what can you do and what are you inspired to do? And then I just really invite you to take that action. Cool.
Thanks so much, Abby. Big hugs.
You too, Bob. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.